ago. But before I even start the presentation, I want to tell you last night, a fellow realtor, Bert Foster from Hunt Real Estate, he had a son that passed away with cancer. And every year the home committee gets together and they have people come and present in front of them. And then we pick a charity that we want to help out. And this year, even though he was from a competitor, the committee voted that we want to help this childhood cancer. So they did the meat raffle, they did all these other fundraisers. They worked extremely hard. And yesterday we were able to give a fellow realtor $22,000 for youth cancer. And he told us yesterday that what they're going to focus is on all the families that have youth cancer that don't have beds and stuff, because we take it for granted. Most of us, I think, have a bed. And a lot of children don't have beds, so they're going to provide bedding and all that stuff. So I think, thank you to anybody that bought something, donated something. We're a part of the home committee because it was a blessing to give this man $22,000 last night. So that's what our home committee is about. So I hope if anybody ever wants to get involved, please get involved with it. It's a beautiful thing. That being said, thank you all for coming. And this is exactly what I envisioned for this room, that we could be doing these type of classes and we can be sharing knowledge and answering questions and helping each other grow as we want to grow. There's a lot of new faces here. We have a variety of different things here. We have the real estate sales. We have a property preservation company. At one point, 2008 was the biggest company in the state, and now it's probably right in the middle because the foreclosures slowed down. We have a very large appraisal operation, not as big as it was 10 years ago, but it's still very big. I think I'm probably the biggest house flipper, wholesaler in the area. So we have, to quantify that, I think I have 27 houses on the board upstairs. And I like to teach that class as well, if anybody ever wants to do it. We meet all the time, and I run the local investor club. If anybody wants to get into the investment side, we meet once a month. Actually, next Wednesday, I'm probably going to be the speaker because they can't get anybody to work for free. And that was funny, I thought. But it's the only event I have to buy all the drinks, pay to speak, and get nothing. But it's nice. So next week I might be speaking on auctions and how to facilitate an auction, how to do it. Actually, in 2 weeks, I'm going to do a live auction on one of our properties. So if anybody, it's just, it'll be a good time. It'll be fun. If you want to learn how the auction process works, I'll be running the auction from start to finish. And and that's basically it. So there's things that you might not have known that we do other than have a great real estate brokerage. So that's it. So I could tell you that I get calls almost every day, including one last night at 9 o'clock from an agent that says, I got a problem with square footage. So I'm going to summarize a lot of stuff, and then at the end I'm going to wrap it up. We could take it as deep as you want. I got some higher end slides for those that really want to really expand. And then from there, I'll take all the questions. I know Patrick calls me at least 5 times a week with real estate questions. So if he can summarize them today, then we won't have any more calls this week. But I love being an appraiser. I got my license when I was 21 years old, so I think 11 years ago. And that was funny too, but I guess I'm not being funny. 12 years ago. But in order to become an appraiser, you have to take all the courses. And right now it's probably 8-9 courses. The only person locally that does it is Cusack Real Estate School, virtual classroom. After you've done that, then you have to be what's called an assistant, and then you basically have to drive in the car with me for 2 years, and we talk about real estate, and then you become licensed, and then you have to apply to companies, and then you can do it on your own. So very few assistants ever make it through to become an appraiser because these companies hire them, and then they beat them into the ground for 2 years, and then by then the person's burned out of not making a lot of money, and then they leave the business. Believe it or not, other than one of my appraisers in this company, I'm probably one of the youngest appraisers because they can't get anybody. Because after 2008, when the foreclosure crisis, who are they going to blame? The appraisers, right? We all inflated values. So they raised the standard. You have to have a 4-year college degree, and you have to do this apprenticeship. So nobody wants to do it. So we can't get anybody. We had an ad on LinkedIn or on Indeed for over 1 year for an appraiser, and we have not gotten one application. So That's why when we used to do appraisals, we would have to have an appraisal back in 48 hours from the time it came over in the fax to the bank in 48 hours. Now our average turnaround time is probably 10 days because there's nobody out there.